All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And there's no God beside them. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for being faithful witnesses to the Holy Spirit. And salutations to the elect, whom the Lord have given ears to hear. And you see the title on the elder brother Manata Zakba's lesson. Vocab Malone, GMS equals goofy minks in the shrubs. Hashtag hurt, hashtag through. And it comes by way of a comment vocab left on the brother Yakanan's page out there in GMS London. Right? And this guy, he calls us cowards because we choose not to engage in, at this point, idle talk. All right? Whereas all the questions that he's had, we've answered time and time again. He received the same question. He received the same answer when he saw the apostles and when he seen GMS Chicago. All right, from when he seen GMS Dallas to when he seen GMS Virginia, it's all the same answers, but yet I guess somehow, as what's the old saying go? The definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect a different result. Right? But as the elder brother's going into, he's now resorting to insults. And this proves that he's not wise. So I want to grab Proverbs 9 and 7. And as always, I want to read it in the KJV. Then we're going to jump to the ISV. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame. He that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Right? So here it is, brothers is giving out knowledge, putting you on game. Yet, because it doesn't fit your narrative, all right, now it becomes slandering. Because we won't succumb to your Christian dogma. Now it becomes slander. So now to jump over to Proverbs 9 and 7 and the ISV, whoever corrects a mocker invites only insult, and whoever rebukes the wicked will himself become stained. All right, and that's an insult to call us goofy minks in shrubs. He also calls us cowards for not wanting to engage, all right, and his foolishness. But it says, don't rebuke a mocker or he will hate you. Rebuke a wise person and he will love you. Counsel a wise man and he will be wiser still. Teach a righteous man and he will add to his learning. So instead of adding to his learning, all right, he's now questioning the scriptures. And when you come against brothers, which really you coming against the spirit and power of the God of the Bible, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, it goes to show that you don't believe in the scriptures. Yeah, you may know some scriptures, but you don't believe in the scriptures. Because when understanding comes out and we go precept upon precept as it is written, all right, how can a man, let's grab that, because he calls it Hebrew hopscotch, right? But when we go to Isaiah, I want to say it's 28 and 9, bear with me. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, In other words, those that are learned of the scriptures. All right. He teaches you knowledge through inputting the words of the Bible within you. And we know that comes by way of the prophets. You can read Jeremiah 3:15. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Let's go to the ISV and see what that says. It says, misuse of God's words. To whom will he teach knowledge, and to whom will he explain the message? To children just weaned from the milk, to those just taken from the breast. The milk and the breast, again, is representative of the scriptures. For it is do this and do that, do this and do that, line upon line, line upon line, a little here and a little there. Right? So, as he calls it, Hebrew hopscotch, but the scriptures call it teaching. This is how you teach. All right? When you go into the Bible, for example, Revelation 20, it goes in one verse, it speaks on 1,000 years, all right, of our enemies in captivity. And then in another verse, it jumps to 1,000 years, going into the time of Yahweh's return, or after the time of Yahweh's return, right? So now you have to precept each verse separately to understand what we're talking about at this particular point. All right. So let's go jump over to Proverbs chapter 14, verse 7. Let me start at verse 6. A scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth it not. And why is that? Because wisdom, according to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1, verse 4, for into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter. All right. What's that word? Let me see. Malicious. Characterized by malice, intending or intended to do harm. All right. This is why the devil vocab, will paint the picture as if we are this, this violent group. All right. Putting us together with Islamic extremists. All right. Because that's his job. He's got to paint the narrative as, he's got to paint the narrative as the rulers that be want to show us as. All right. As enemy number one. But he's just playing into scriptures anyway, because the scriptures say, all right, in the midst of wars and rumors of wars, that we shall be persecuted, that the witnesses of Yahweh shall be persecuted. But reading on, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4, 1 and 3, for forward thoughts separate from God, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. And through the spirit of Yahweh, when these men come up, they always get reproved. Though they don't receive it, they always get reproved. Or they can't receive it. They don't receive it because they can't receive it, especially as a heathen, which we believe over here at Great Millstone, according to what? Daniel 12 and 10. None of the wicked shall understand. For forward thoughts, which the word forward meaning crooked, right? So when you come to the scriptures with Christian dogma, that's considered a forward thought. Separates from God, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. For into a malicious soul, a soul intended to do harm, wisdom shall not enter, nor the well in the body that is subject to sin, which sin is essentially, or sin is a transgression of the law. All right. When one is adverse to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he is subject to sin. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 6 again. A scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth. And ultimately, you have to be of the elect. All right. Which, if you understand it now, odds are you understood it back then. All right, because the Most High doesn't change. As a matter of fact, Yahweh Shai, where the Spirit came to Daniel and said, "Go into the time of the end, seal up the book into the time of the end." I'm sorry, no, I'm thinking of the precept where it says, "The spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophet." All right. So if the Lord chose a man to speak his words and give understanding to his people back then, he's going to do the same thing now. All right. And on the flip side, the Lord chose some to crucify the prophets, then they're going to do the same thing now. Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. All right. So is it cowardness or is it wisdom? The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 30. Verse 32. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. Right? Again, if you're subject to sin, right, you ought to listen to the prophets. However, if you're carnal, right, still not wishing to listen to us because of whatever reason, because how we look or how we may come off, all right, that's actually bad. You know, the scriptures speak on how you ought to humble yourself before coming into the house of the Lord. All right, but not vocab. He comes with all the answers. All right. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood, so the forcing of wrath bringing forth strife. Right? And it's funny how, as a Christian, here it is, you always go to the scriptures on forgive thy neighbor, love thy neighbor. But you calling us cowards, this, that, and the third, you're actually bringing forth strife. And the scriptures say, though he humbleth himself, let's grab that. Never trust thy enemy, for though he humbleth himself, all right, because now he's showing himself. We're in the time of revelation, all right, and all shall show who they truly are. Sirach chapter 12. Verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So as iron surely will rust, so will our enemy show his wickedness. Though he humbleth himself, I really just want to understand the Bible. If you could just hear me out, But then now, once your point is not getting across, you got to turn to foolish antics. Though he humbleth himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. So now, when we bring out these scriptures, which according to the Bible in Hebrews 4 and 12, the word cuts into the bone, into the spirit. All right, so now as we bring these words out and we get into it, is as if we have wiped a looking glass, meaning you're able to see through the exterior. You know, you're able to see inside through the exterior, through the so-called humble mannerism. It says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. All right, it's polished for a season. All right, but eventually he's going to show what's underneath the exterior. All right, what's his true intentions? Set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. So if that, shalom to the elect.